For my second book review. This time it's called Fallout by, I just checked my video, Todd Strasser. Now, what I did was, this part right here will be at the beginning, and I did it the day I finished the book, so that I wouldn't forget, and it's like 20 seconds of me showing the book or whatever, but you can't hear anything, but it's just so that I remembered who'd written it and, a little bit about it. So, basically the book starts off very terribly. I thought it was going to be great, and I was right. It was great, and I could read it. And it starts off so back and forth. These kids want to steal some cheesecake from their neighbor, and then they're rushing to their fallout bunker, and then they're still working on cheesecake stealing, back to the bunker. It's just so back and forth. You're like, why the hell am I reading this? And then it starts to get good. Then it starts to get good. No, but they eventually. What happens at the beginning? I don't want to spoil it, but somebody falls down the ladder because of people trying to break into their shelter, and I think it's the most ridiculous thing ever, because they stole that from a Twilight Zone. Basically, people trying to get into the shelter of this one family who was the only one smart enough to build it. Just seems kind of dumb to me. But, it's based on a real story. The back of the book has a picture of the boy who was 12 years old, who wrote the book. I don't think he was 12 when he wrote the book, I just think he was 12 when he experienced it or something. It has a picture of the bunker and everything, it's pretty cool. You guys should check this book out. It was the second book I read this year since April. And it only took like one checkout session of like 3 weeks to read it. I finished it the day of, and it was so awesome. The next book I tried to read was like a Star Wars one, and I wasn't feeling it. So I returned it, got Green Lantern, read 2 chapters, 3 chapters. I was like, not feeling it. The one I'm reading now, which will be my next review, it's pretty good. And I thought it would be, and it is Trapped. But we'll not show that here. Basically, it's a bunch of kids get stuck in a school on a blizzard, and as you read the pages, I'm not going to spoil it, but the snow goes up the page. It's kind of cool. Shh, next time. The whole point of the Fallout, though, is if a bomb gets dropped, Fallout, blah, blah, obviously. This family gets trapped with a couple neighbors. Pieces of neighbors, families, not full families, just pieces. And some guy's a jackass the whole time, and the guy's father is trying to cope with his wife or somebody who's injured and unconscious state, while her son and his brother, or his 2 sons, so basically I can't even remember the name, Scotty or something, and something else. And by the way, I like that I was a character in this book, but they made it such a long name. It was like, why can't I be like Johnny says this, or why can't I... Every time they introduced the character, it was always his full name. It was like, why can't I be more like Johnny? It was like, why would you name your kid that? I don't know if he made that up for the book, or if it was someone he really went to school with 50, 60 years ago named, why can't I be more like Johnny? I thought that was kind of a dumb part of the book, because it was just so repetitive when they introduced the character as that. But I thought it was cool because it was my name, Johnny. It was cool. So that made me want to read more. And then, they eventually did steal the cheesecake and ate it. It was like a frozen cheesecake or something, but that whole part of the beginning is so stupid, how back and forth it is. It's like flashbacky, current, flashback, current, flashback, current. It was just so... I almost didn't want to read it, but I'm glad I did. It was a good book. Basically they just spend their time in the bunker fighting with each other about something, and then they eventually decide to escape it, because it's been like they don't know how much time it's been. But they decide that it's time to leave, And it takes cooperation with them all. They eventually decide to open the door thing, but it's stuck. But do they get out? I don't know. You'll have to read the book yourself. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I honestly can't remember the exact ending of the book. I think Scotty and his brother or something, or Maddie or something, maybe? They're looking up at the sky for the first time in, like, unspecified amount of time, and he looks at his brother or something in awe, like, what a goof or something. I don't know. It was fun. It's a good book. That's been my review, and in case you didn't notice, it's 11:39 p.m. and I've been lazy. I wanted to do this yesterday. I wanted to do this a week ago, and I finally have alone time to do it when it's quiet. And I just finished a huge YouTube binge. Again, like 5-6 hours. That's huge for me, I guess. And it's Labor Day weekend, right? Yeah, something like that. So I'm gonna shut this off. I'm also watching Dorian Hurricane, strongest one ever recorded, or like it tied for top in the Atlantic Basin or Pacific Basin or something. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot going on this weekend for my boring butt. This is a picture of Marigold I took. Now I'm just ranting on about random jibber-jabber stuff. But I'm going to tack this onto the beginning. You can't see it, but this video right here. And this will be the book review for Fallout. I suggest it. Next book after this will be Trapped, obviously. I'm going to do a review on that one. And then I'm going to finish it with Patient Zero. I think that'll be the last book I read this year. This one shouldn't take but a couple more, like maybe a month. Well, I don't know. It's pretty short. But the Patient Zero is like a zombie type thing, and I was like, I'm totally reading it. But it's a smaller-ish book, but it's thick. So it might take the rest of the year. I might have to rent it twice, like I did Prisoner or Alcatraz Escape or something. So who knows? Stick around for those book reviews. Alright. Have a good night, people. Or morning. Bye-bye. It was the Auschwitz escape. Alcatraz. Johnny, you're an idiot. You're gonna look at this, editing it tomorrow, and you're an idiot. Just thought I'd correct that. You won't see me saying Alcatraz, but if you do, I might just leave it in there because it's such a funny goof up. Mess up, but yeah. It's not Alcatraz, it's Auschwitz. I don't know how that came to my mind, but that's the real title of the book I read, The Auschwitz Escape. It was good. Check that out. If you haven't seen the book review, go for it. I highly recommend it.